Hi, Basiku community member.
Welcome to a special feature that we have. We have an exciting guest that is here to share her story, because what better way to inspire you than to have real people share real stories?
And I'm so excited because Sue is joining us today.
So, Sue, if you wouldn't mind, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
My name is Sue Spencer, and I'm a healthy aging advocate, a master's weightlifter, and I'm the owner of Lift You Up Coaching, which is a company that works with women who are at a stage in their life where they're just feeling kind of stuck and they don't know what's next, or if there actually is anything left that they can do now that they're getting a little bit older.
That is super interesting. So in the past 7 years, you have taken on new hobby. Do you want to talk to us about it?
So yeah, I was very overweight. I was very lethargic, really didn't do much other than go to work. So I started at the gym and just discovered that I was pretty strong. And so going forward from that, discovered lifting and then Olympic weightlifting. I've started doing Olympic weightlifting as a competitor, as a master's, and now I hold a world record in one of my lifts. And I just competed recently in the Pan American Masters weightlifting and have 3 Pan American records from that. It's kind of unusual for somebody to be 58 when they start doing something new, but it's really never too late.
I think it's amazing how you can find strength into yourself when you least expect it, huh?
Yeah. If anybody had said to me 10 years ago even that I would be doing this, I would have just thought they were crazy. I didn't even like going to the gym at that point. Now it's part of my life.
So, how did you get started?
What really got me started was the fact that sort of 2 things happened around the time that I was just over 58. And my brother got extremely sick and had prostate cancer and, consequently passed away a couple of years ago. But my daughter was also pregnant with my grandson. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 60 in 2 years. What does that even look like? And how active am I going to be able to be as a grandparent? And so that's what really motivated me to get into the gym. I was committing to doing it for 18 months until my 60th birthday. I had a plan, but it wasn't a plan that other than I was going to go to the gym 5 days a week. And that sort of just got me moving. And then I really just decided I was going to say yes to any opportunities that came and the possibilities that came from that. And that just sort of got me going. And then I connected with a personal trainer who you've met, Paul Marlowe.
It's crazy. Our little decision, right, has changed entire life. So I'll be honest with you, Sue. I admire so much for doing this because I have our time with motivation at 6 a.m. in the morning. How do you stay motivated to go to the gym every day and be consistent?
Well, it's habit, right? It doesn't matter whether you're getting up and you're doing some meditation or you're sitting and journaling or you're working out. You find a routine that works for you, and then it suddenly becomes just part of your day. When I started at the gym, I set myself up for success in that I picked a gym that was between my house and where I worked, so I had to drive by it every day. And once I got started and working with a personal trainer, I arranged to work with him at 6 o'clock in the morning. There was no reason why it couldn't be part of my day. So it just became a routine. And now I feel weird if I don't do it. And I think that's a really huge thing for anybody at any age doing anything, is a routine that you have in the morning, no matter what time you start it, really makes a big difference.
Now, accountability is the key to success. So, what strategies do you use to keep yourself on track?
I think that when you have somebody that you're sort of answering to, whether you're following some kind of a nutrition plan, whether you're working with someone who you're paying to train you, that kept me accountable to keep coming in. Plus, one of my really big things was that I do have social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and as either my nickname, which is Beast Mode Grandma, or Lift You Up Coaching. So when you post things all the time saying that you're going to do something, you have to be accountable to that and do it. And so when I decided that I was going to learn how to Olympic weightlift and go to the World Masters Games in New Zealand, that really kept me accountable. And I think it's showing up so that you can show other people you can do it, but it's showing up for yourself, proving to yourself that you are capable of doing what you say you're going to do. And so that is what really keeps me accountable.
So how do you choose those people? Because I always tell my clients, I said, you have to surround yourself with the right people.
Once you find what it is that you want to do, you have to find those people that are doing the same thing as you. And surprisingly, it's almost always extremely inclusive, no matter what the sport, no matter what the age, it just is. We have this sort of fear that it's not going to be that stops us from going and doing it. I think when we kind of release that idea of how people are going to look at you or judge you, then all of a sudden people show up. This weightlifting community has opened up so much to me in that way of just not assuming that people are going to look at you, because I don't look like an athlete. But it doesn't matter. They're still accepting of you. And I think that now has given me the confidence to go into other areas and, just step forward, and you'd be surprised that people aren't going to judge you.
Now, your goal to go to New Zealand was quite an ambitious one. Did you ever experience any self-doubt? And if so, how did you overcome it?
So to answer your question, surprisingly, I really didn't doubt that I would go. And I don't know why, because I had never done anything athletic in my life before. I had never been an athlete. Once I went into the gym and said to my trainer, I want to learn how to do Olympic lifting and go to World Masters Games, and he said, okay, he was in to help me. I just sort of work towards that goal. Even up to like January of the year that I went, I didn't have the money to fly there. I didn't know where it was going to come from. I just knew it was going to come. And I just had a real just positive attitude towards it, I guess. And then all of a sudden, the next night, I get a phone call from the fellow that's one of the reps for the company, and he said, I'm on Expedia right now. What day do you want to fly there? And I was like, oh my Lord, they actually paid my airfare. And I have to give them a shout out. It's Body Energy Club, which is a local company to Vancouver, and they're in LA as well, but an amazing small company that just has a lot of sponsorships of all different kinds of athletes of all different ages, and it's pretty cool that way. But it was such a weird thing that I really didn't doubt I was going to go. And I think perhaps because, surprisingly to me, as a non-athlete before that, the first time I competed, instead of having, butterflies and being all nervous and everything, I just went out and kind of did it. So I don't do a lot of negative self-talk. And I never have. So I perhaps don't always believe I can do what I am capable of, but I also don't put myself down all the time.
I love that positive attitude, because you're right. Usually what stops us, it's ourselves, right? It's our negative thought. is or bad experience that we start putting all together and thinking that's the reality when it's not. So what is one thing you really have learned about yourself into this process?
Well, I think I've just learned that I'm number one stronger than I ever thought I was, but stronger in so many different ways, of mentally and physically. And I'm able to now know with confidence that I can put myself in a situation that I'm maybe not really comfortable with or not used to, and I know that I'll be okay. I can go into a restaurant and eat on my own. I can navigate a system, you know, thankfully it was in English and I only speak English, but you know, it's given me confidence in so many other areas of my life as well. And just that knowing that, you know, you can pull it together and you can do it. I went to the Pan Americans in 2019 in Orlando, and I had a tooth abscess for the 2 weeks before, so I was on antibiotics. And when I flew, I'd given myself enough time to have about, you know, 24 hours before I had to compete at least. And all of the computer systems in Canada crashed that day, and on the airlines. So everything was backed up for like about 8 hours. Because I'd been doing this weightlifting, I have been able to focus my mind, and I just was able to sort of let it go and be calm. And I did really well at it. I didn't lift as heavy as I perhaps could, but it didn't matter. It, you know, like being able to click your mind so that you can focus on, you know, what you're doing and not let the other chaos that's going on around you impact that. So that's been a huge thing that I've learned.
So how has weightlifting influenced other areas of your life? I know you mentioned it briefly, but maybe you want to expand on it a little bit more.
Well, one of the things that that I started doing is this company called Lift You Up Coaching. I kind of use the name Lift You Up because I do lifting, and I use that sort of as a sort of segue into talking about making changes in your life. I do a lot of public speaking about making changes in your life.
So you talk about change. So what would you say to someone that wants to make the change but just doesn't know what to start? What would be, you say, like the first thing to do when you're thinking about doing a major change?
Well, you know, I think one of the things is simplest is make a list. Like, what are the things, you know, if you're thinking about not being happy in your work, perhaps, like, what are the things that you like about it, and what are the things that you really don't like about it? And when you look at those things that you don't like about it, you know, what would your life look like if you changed one of those things? And so that's a really good way to start. What would your life look like? Not just I want to change it, because you can complain as much as you want about something not being the way you would like it, but what would your life look like if you change just one thing? And sometimes that's really all it takes to get us starting to think on another sort of pathway.
That is amazing advice. So, Sue, I want to just thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your journey and all of the advice that you've learned along the way. If anybody wants to get in touch with Sue and hear more about her journey or her business, all of her details are going to be in the description box below.
So to all of viewers, thank you so much for watching. If you know any inspiring people you would like to be on this channel, please let us know at kimandkristencoaching@gmail.com.
And as always, I just want to remind you that if you love videos like this, if you want to see more people on our channel, please subscribe to our channel for more videos and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as a new video becomes available.
Thank you, Sue, for being with us, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.